Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Minnesota State Park Hiking Club Trail Series. Today, we traveled to Banning State Park in Sandstone, Minnesota. Banning State Park was authorized by the Minnesota government in 1963 as part of an omnibus package that established 8 other state parks: Glacial Lakes, Lake Louise, Maplewood, Great River Bluffs, Rice Lake, Sakatah Lake, Soudan Underground Mine, and Upper Sioux Agency. Truly a solid piece of legislation that has benefited the citizens of Minnesota since its approval. The park gets its name from the sandstone quarry and town site which were located within its boundaries. The ruins of the quarry can be explored with different trails within the park, and the State Park Hiking Club Trail indeed passes through a section of it, which are marked with informative boards that tell of the history of the quarry and what activities took place in the past. The site is a sandstone quarry due to the significant amount of sandstone around the Kettle River. This led to potholes formed by the river's flow. The park has several shelves from the quarrying and makes for some interesting sights along the trail. The wildlife within the park is diverse, with 184 different species of bird sightings, 17 species of reptilians and amphibians, as well as 34 species of mammals such as the white-tailed deer, black bear, coyote, fox, raccoon, beaver, and all those squirrels. The habitats found within the park are hardwood forests, wetlands, aspen birch forests, as well as tamarack wetlands. This makes the park a very popular location during peak foliage season. So popular, in fact, that cars can be parked along the road to the parking lot from the entrance, with no space in between. As soon as you make it on the trail and start taking the park in, however, you can clearly see why. In addition to the quarry, the park also contains waterfalls and the rapids of the Kettle River. A popular hiking destination within the park is Wolf Creek Falls, which has a picturesque waterfall that plunges into the Kettle River. The hiking club trail starts out at the parking lot and then immediately turns onto the Quarry View Trail, which brings you up against the Kettle River and provides ample opportunity to view it throughout the turning leaves and take in the turbulent river below. The walk is reminiscent of a New England river walk, and in the fall, during peak foliage season, it's absolutely amazing. Before you reach the quarry ruins, you will pass a stream flowing from the higher level of land, forming a small waterfall. It's worth taking a moment to take in the beauty of the water, but fear not, as the hiking club trail will take you to the upper section of this stream later on in the trail. The next section of the trail brings you through and by ruined sections of the old quarry, and a still standing shell of a building. Throughout this section there is winding footpaths that will take you around and through the buildings, as well as closer to the river. But be careful, especially during the fall, as the slick leaves can cause trouble near the river's edge. Eventually, you turn onto another trail that takes you back in the direction you came from, but higher up and next to a tall, imposing rock wall. After it rains, you can enjoy the dripping and weeping water coming down the wall, which creates a neat audio experience. The wall reminded me of Zion or Glacier National Park. Nothing on that geological scale, but still reminiscent and a very cool experience. Finally, you pass the stream and cross over a bridge that leads you to the falls you saw from below, and a small detour will take you to the bridge that you could see. It's worth a moment to enjoy the stream before continuing onward. And I don't know, maybe record your family crossing the bridge in an adorable fashion? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. After this, the State Park Trail turns out towards the entrance and takes you through a wetland area that can be exceptionally difficult to maneuver through without waterproof boots, after it's just rained. After that, the trail crosses the entry road and turns back towards the parking lot. My favorite part of the trail is when the trail passes by the evidence of the old quarry. Being from an old quarry town myself, one famous for granite, not sandstone, it's always a little satisfying to find similar ruins to what I would find while exploring the forests around my house in my youth. The quarry walls, tall and imposing, remind me of my youth, of exploring and discovering all kinds of post-industrial ruins. My favorite was finding an old rusting section of a car deep out in a quarry in the woods. The hike, admittedly cleaner than the New England forests of my youth, still offers glimpses of the past and shells of old buildings to imagine what it might have been in its heyday. Thank you for watching, and if you like this addition to the series, like and subscribe. Also, let us know which state park you'd like to see next.